What's going on, guys? Graham, Gius, Matthews here with FanSided Daily DDT.com. And ahead of Saturday's NXT In Your House event live on Peacock, June 4th, 8 p.m., we're talking one half of the main event for the NXT Championship. The challenger, Joe Gacy himself, going for the gold on Saturday night. Joe, what's going on, man? Thanks for taking the time today. I appreciate it.
Oh, not a problem. Thank you for having me. Very excited.
Absolutely, man. This is a big match. Obviously, the rematch from Spring Break in a couple of weeks ago. Very different matchup. One stipulation I forgot to mention is that if Bron gets himself disqualified, he will lose the NXT Championship. And it's not often a championship changes hands in WWE by disqualification, but it is an option on Saturday. What can we look forward to this matchup from you and Bron kind of compared to the original encounter at Spring Break in a couple of weeks ago?
Well, just like you said, it's very not normal for a champion to lose the title in a disqualification. That is 100% very possible to happen this Saturday. And as you can tell, Bron Breakker's having a little difficulty controlling the anger. So I'm sure that could play into that as well.
No stranger in going for gold, obviously contended for the Cruiserweight Championship at one of NXT's previous live specials at War Games. Like I said, challenging for the NXT Championship at Spring Breaking as well. You kind of alluded to it a little bit on TV. What is your ultimate goal? If you become NXT champion on Saturday, if and when that happens, what can we expect? I mean, obviously it's too early to say, I guess, as of now, as of Thursday, June 2nd, but if it happens on Saturday, what can we expect from Joe Gacy as the NXT champion? If anything, it might be unpredictable.
It could be unpredictable, but I mean, the ultimate goal for me is to spread the message that I've been attempting to spread since I got here in NXT. And I guess having the NXT Championship would just put me on a higher pedestal to be able to deliver that message.
And this is a very different Joe Gacy than the Joe Gacy we saw coming in WWE a year ago as part of the NXT Breakout Tournament. You're looking like $1 million, dude. I mean, a totally different person. If you went by a different name, we probably wouldn't even know it was the same guy. Can you talk a little bit about like the turning point for the Joe Gacy of 2022 compared to the Joe Gacy that we saw signed to WWE a year ago? And NXT itself has gone through a lot of changes as well. So you've kind of evolved with the times. Can you talk a little bit about that transformation from when you signed to WWE a year ago to who you are today?
Sure. I mean, coming into WWE, as you said, I looked different. I acted different. I had longer hair that was a little straggly, I guess you could say. I think over the last couple of months or over the last couple of years, the last year, I think I kind of just put myself together a little bit more. I wasn't used to, the lifestyle as a WWE superstar coming in. It was all brand new to me, and I was just, a fish in the ocean trying to find my way. And I think I found a way that works for me. So I thought, why not have a fresh start, get a haircut, cut my beard, maybe get some new clothes, and try to go for it that way.
Your appearance is a little bit different, but your in-ring style is exactly the same as far as how you can go in the ring. And I think kind of people forget about that at this point because we don't see you in the ring all that often, which is a good thing because it makes it more of like an attraction type thing, which is what we're going to see on Saturday. But can you talk about, like I said, the stuff in the ring is exactly the same, which is great. I think people kind of underrate what you can do when that bell rings, which is why I think this could be a really good match on Saturday. Who have been some of your, if any, like inspirations as far as some of the promos you've cut, what we've heard you say on TV, kind of your appearance? Was that all just kind of organic, or did you kind of look to any one, two, or people, whether it be wrestling related or not, from the past to kind of help you with that transformation?
I mean, in a way it's organic. I'll be honest, I've never had the opportunity to talk this much on a microphone, let alone TV.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me coming up, growing up watching WWE since I was a kid, I grew up watching guys like Mick Foley. I was obsessed with Mick Foley. So a lot of, the promos and things that he has done over the years is something that I looked up to. I think in ring, I grew up idolizing guys like William Regal and Triple H. So I don't know if that comes across the same or not to put myself up on any kind of level that they're on. But those are the kind of guys that, I came up watching, and I would say, I guess, adapted any of my in-ring style close to that. I don't know how close, but that's the type of stuff that, that I love, is watching guys like them.
Were you able to get any pointers from them? I know Regal's not here anymore, but before he left, were you able to get any, kind of pick his brain a little bit, and Triple H as well? I mean, having him as a boss, it's got to be surreal even a year later. So any tips you've learned from them over the last year, if anyone else at the Performance Center as well?
Absolutely. I mean, everyone here has been great at the Performance Center. William Regal's taught me tons. I've also learned so much from guys like Terry Taylor, Fit Finley, and Fit Finley has that same style that I guess you could say I'm kind of obsessed with. So all those guys, tweaked things that I kind of already did or thought I knew and made it better. So I guess slow evolution made me what I am today.
Yeah, no, a little bit of shades of all the people that you mentioned. And now that you mentioned that, I can kind of see a little bit of especially William Regal. I mean, he's one of my all-time favorites. So I can certainly kind of see that with your in-ring style and how that kind of comes across, and the menacing style of promo that we've seen more from you in the last couple of months as well, which is cool. But like I said, you can kind of cover it all from the in-ring work. We've seen you cut the promos on Bron the last couple of weeks on TV, drawing similarities. I mean, obviously Bron Breakker, son of the Steiners, been involved with a lot of similar stuff in WCW with some of the spooky stuff that we've seen. Was that ever a factor to you? I mean, obviously there's stuff beyond your control, but can you see the similarities there a little bit? And has that played any sort of inspiration in the build up to this match on Saturday?
I don't know. I don't know so much. I don't know. I think the match Saturday has been more of an opportunity. Over the last couple of weeks, I've had the opportunity, I guess, to express myself a bit. Mm-hmm. And I've never really had a platform like this to be able to do that. Anyone that has known me from the past, I kind of, had to introduce all of myself at once. So being here, being able to really use my mind instead of always focusing on physicality has been a good thing. So it's been giving me a chance to be maybe a little bit more creative than I have. So putting a lot of ideas out there, kind of, I don't know, tweaking this and that kind of made what you guys are seeing now.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of tweaks. Like I said, even from a year ago from the breakout tournament, but even from this side of Joe Gacy that we've gotten since the beginning of NXT 2.0, you were quite the topic of conversation when NXT first got started, canceling and stuff like that. I mean, what kind of went into that as far as your reaction to it? Are you thinking after that sort of stuff happens, making headlines in either a good or bad way? I mean, people are talking regardless around the time that NXT started, but which is certainly a feat in of itself. What kind of tweaks are you making to be all right, they like this or they don't like this, so let's do more of that? What kind of, with you anyway, what kind of what was kind of going through your mind at that point?
Oh, I mean, being out there right away and going from a long-haired guy wearing trunks to a guy that short hair, gray button up, and gets a whole amount of time to be able to talk on the microphone. I don't know if so much, I would say that would be the only tweak that, came about was me changing my appearance. Mm-hmm. Being out there and hearing how people reacted to what I said, or even, reading about it, reading news articles and headlines about, what I said. I honestly love it. I think it was a great thing. Everyone kind of noticed me just for things I said rather than what I actually did in the ring that night. I bet a lot of people don't even remember that I had a match after I first appeared and talked on the microphone. So I love it. I love every moment of it. I think everyone is kind of intrigued. So I like to continue that and see where it goes.
And it's gotten you to where you are today in the main event of In Your House on Saturday for the championship. Last two questions for you. You mentioned the matches. Do you have one favorite match that you've had so far? I thought the match with Roddy was great. The first Bron match was very good as well. Any one favorite match or memory stand out to you so far in NXT?
I mean, they've all been great. I would say, hard to choose. I don't know. I mean, my first match with Bron, it was my first NXT Championship match, first main event. I have to say that was, at this point, my favorite moment. ask me again after Saturday, and I'm sure I'll have a different answer for you.
Exactly. And coming out of Saturday, there's a whole variety of people you can face as the NXT champion if you come away victorious from that matchup. Is there anyone you want to face specifically? I know you're all about spreading your message. You talked a little bit about that. That's obviously first and foremost. If there's a match you want to have, though, obviously as the champion, you get to kind of pick your challengers a little bit. Is there anyone that you're intrigued to face at some point, whether it be someone that you have history with from before you arrived in WWE or someone on the roster you have unfinished business with? Any one name stand out to you at all?
I mean, so many guys here I would love to be able to get in the ring with. If anyone, I do have a little bit of a history with Wes Lee. I wouldn't mind doing that, but I also wouldn't mind getting in the ring with Solo. I think me and him have very similar styles, and I really don't know what would happen there. So I'm a little curious.
Yeah, no, a variety of different matches you can have with a variety of opponents on the NXT roster, which is great. But we first got you and Bron on Saturday for the NXT Championship. NXT In Your House, live on Peacock, 8 p.m. Eastern time. You and Bron, NXT title. We're all looking forward to it. Joe, thanks so much for the time, man. Appreciate it. And congrats on all the success over the last year.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me.